This is your one and only FireSpark81 with your daily dose of video goodness, and welcome to Last Oasis. Today we're going to talk about a few beginning tips to help get you started. Let's get to it. The first tip is to stay in the starting area as long as you can. If you look here, there's a bunch of different starting areas that you get to start from. Well, this is what we have here so far on the preview version. So stay in them as long as you can. They offer you some protection, and there's all the resources that you need that you can get in, well, not every resource, but for starting resource wise, all the resources you need starting wise to get you going. You can sit there, you can harvest them, you can harvest the fragments, and just hang out there. Even though you'll get a quest that tells you to leave that area, just hang out there a little bit longer, harvest more resources, and make sure you have plenty of water, wood, all of that stuff before you leave that area. And also fragments. Take your time to farm the fragments there and level up a bunch of stuff and unlock stuff in the tech tree while you can there before you go out into the other areas. It's going to be a lot easier for you. I made the mistake of rushing out, and then you just got to deal with a whole other world of BS. So stay in the starting area as long as you can. While you're in that starting area farming fragments, unlock this bad boy as quickly as possible. This holds a crap amount of water. It's trash. It's absolute trash. Your makeshift bottle is trash. Learn it just to unlock this to get you over to here, because you learn this and then you can immediately learn this after. Learn that fast. It holds a lot more water, especially because transferring water to your walker is a pain in the butt. The only way to do it is to transfer it to the bottle, and these hold 20, by the way, and then you go from the bottle to your walker storage, and then you transfer it over like that. So you have to do that over and over and over again to fill your walker full of water. So you want a bottle that's going to hold a lot more. The next thing is go under your crafting and unlock the woodworking station and the wooden shaft as soon as possible. So the bottle, the improvised bottle here, and then this bad boy right here. Because the only other way to get these wood shafts that I found so far is by killing the ᴜᴜ, the monkey people that are all over. So if you need some of these in a hurry to craft something, for example, your weapon broke because all kinds of stuff takes these things, you have to go kill the ᴜᴜ. Well, if your weapon broke, well, it's going to be rough for you to kill them. For getting a better weapon, you're going to be using a beat stick, and it's just going to be a pain in the butt. So it's going to cost you 10 for this and 1 for this, so 11 total. Unlock this quickly. You'll thank me later. And I just want to clarify, don't rush to unlock those things before you do the stuff that it tells you to do in the quests. Like, follow the quest line up until the point where it's telling you to leave the Nomadic Oasis, and then start to unlock this other stuff before you leave the Nomadic Oasis. This next one's a fun little tip if you need to just do something on your walker and you don't want to stop moving. So H is your auto run. So if you hit H, you'll just start moving. Well, if you're piloting your walker, then your walker will just start moving. But then you can just unman your walker, and as you see, it just keeps going. And it will keep going until you man it again. And when you man it again, it will stop. So if we man it, it should stop. Come to a crawl, there you go, and it stops. But keep in mind that unmanning the walker like this only works if it is a wind-powered walker. If it's a pedal-powered walker, obviously it's not going to work because you're providing the power. If you want it to continue going, once you man it again, you just go in whatever direction you want to go. If you're still going in the same direction that you want to be going, then you just tap H again. So it's super handy, H for auto run, and you can go into your menus, level up, do whatever you need to do, look at the map. You can actually see yourself moving on the map. Super handy, but it's also very handy to be able to jump off of the steering wheel here, or whatever you call that long thing, and be able to do what you need to do on your thing, some crafting, what have you, and then get back on it and steer it some more. This thing will plow through pretty much anything and does not take any damage. If you look, I can just mash through these trees here, and I'm not taking any damage to the walker. So don't be afraid to abuse it a little bit. From what I can tell, it also doesn't take fall damage. I've jumped this thing off of a massive cliff, and it has been absolutely fine. So the next thing is, if you manage to get this thing stuck, which I've almost done a couple of times, if you manage to do and you can't get it unstuck, just man it and then hit escape, and then go to transfer to lobby. This will secure log you out, but the downside to doing it this way is that you will end up with sand in your gears, as you see that I have over there. Look at the right hand side, see where it says sand in gears. This prevents you from traveling to another map. So if I was to do that here, which this is where I'm at, then I would just be stuck here until I get the sand out of my gears. So it's a good way to just log out. I mean, you obviously, if you're just logging out of the game, that's how you want to log out, because that logs you and your walker out so you stay secure. But if you're stuck, you can also do that. It just locks you to that area until you get the sand out of your gears. To do that, all you have to do is just go through a green area like this. As I'm traveling through this green area here, you can see that bar is slowly starting to tick down. So you just do this and just roam around. You can just do loops. If you find a nice open spot like right here, I can just do loops and it will get the sand out of my gears, and then I can go out the legit way. So if you just go out, like if I just go to the center or to the edge here, it will give me the option to hit L, and then that'll put me back into the lobby. You can do it that way as well, and that won't put any sand in your gears. But if you travel to another location, so if I go out that way and then I say travel over to here, once I get to here, I'll have sand in my gears. So I won't be able to leave another map until I find a green area and get the sand out. The next tip is, once you've built the dinghy, which is what I have here, you'll still have your firefly, which is the first walker you will build. Don't delete it and don't do anything with it right away. There's immediately after you build this thing and you complete all the quests for it, there's a quest line for your firefly to upload it to a lobby to have it for safekeeping. So don't dismantle it or do anything like that. It has you do some more stuff to it, upgrade it a little more, and then you'll upload it to the lobby. If you need fragments, just travel a lot. There are wrecks all over the place and they move. So from what I can tell so far, don't quote me on this because I've just noticed this and it makes sense that it would be like that. It looks like they use a node-based system, but it's moving. So it looks like they can only spawn in certain locations, but they may not always be at that location. So you want to just move around and you'll find them. It looks like we have no, I don't think that's one. They're much bigger than what you see there. I'll see if I can find one. I'm not having any luck finding one right now, so I'll just show a clip of what they look like. These almost always have a couple of fragments in them. So if you're having an issue finding fragments, you can kill the �ṛūpū, but you also have a better chance of getting them by finding the wrecks, because the wrecks almost always have at least one or two, so you can get them easily that way. So it's just a matter of just traveling around. The next tip is always make sure you have plenty of water in your walker. You can respawn as long as your walker has water in it. So if you look to the right there, you can see it says respawns left 3 of 6. The water goes into your storage. We open the storage, you can see here's the water. So this thing, each of these slots on this one holds 40. Always make sure you have water in it so you can always respawn to it if you need to. The other thing is always make sure you have water on you. If you look here, I have 18 on me. I have one of these on me, but you can hold 2 of these or your forage pouch. It looks like you have to choose between which one you want to hold, but you always want to have water on your person. You'll just automatically drink from this. So harvest a lot of cactus, stock up on it. Even if you don't process all the cactus right away, harvest a ton of it, keep a ton of it, keep a ton of water. You can also keep water if you don't have any room for it over here. See how it's over here? You can just drag it over here like this. So you can use this for extra water storage, and then you can just transfer it over to your improvised water bottle. So I can transfer it from there, or I can transfer it back over like that. Super handy to store a lot of water there, plus all the water storage that you have in your walker. Okay, that's all I have for you right now. I will have more tips in the future, but I just wanted to get this video out to get you all some, beginning tips to get you started so you're not struggling. So just keep these tips in mind as you start off. And also, please just trust me when I say stay in that starting area as long as you possibly can. There's plenty of of stuff there to harvest and plenty of fragments to get a hold of. There's ʀᴜ camps and everything else that you can just farm there for a while. Don't rush to get out of that starting zone. Make sure you go through the tech tree and unlock a bunch of stuff. I also highly recommend for weapons, it's going to come down to personal choice, but I highly recommend unlocking this bad boy quickly. It does a lot of damage and its attack speed is really fast. But once again, it's going to be a personal preference type thing. And also, one tip before we go is find a strong ʀᴜ and use it for practice. Practice your fighting. Fighting in this game is direction based, so you can attack in different directions. As you see there, you also have to block in the directions that your opponent is going to attack from. It's one of those ones that's going to take a ton of practice. So if you don't have a buddy you can fight with, you can fight with your clan mates. Find a ʀᴜ and use it to practice with. Okay, that is going to wrap it up for this episode. If you like what you saw, consider hitting that sub button. I want to give a big thank you to my patrons for making this episode possible. Y'all are absolutely amazing people. If you would like to join my elite crew of Patreon supporters, please check out the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy, you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and show your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.